This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So what we are seeing that, different kind of costs are impacting, and then logically we understood that, how they are impacting by doing the different runs. So let us also see, hope you see my screen,
Yes, I do see your screen. Yes.
okay. So let me log in. So what we'll also see, for example, in this competitive environment, so sometimes there will be a need that the late deliveries also can be allowed, because sometimes the demand will be too much and then supply will not be sufficient because of various reasons. Maybe the wars are going in the countries and all that, external impacts that the supply is not that much. So during those situations, we have to be little lenient in terms of providing more time, let's say for the delivery to the suppliers, right? So let me go to the favorites that we have, and let's see that how we can implement this. So let's say that this capacity, I think we have already given, uh, yeah, some capacity is there, and then the customer demand, let us put now from one plant how much we can make. 1000, being the 500 as a capacity, from one plant we can make 1000, right? And then from we have two plants, so max of 2000 can be delivered, right? In a week. So that's the capacity that we have. So now let's say that the demand is more, it is 3000, and here also it is like 2500, right? Max to max, how much you can do? You can do 2000. So how much will be the shortage here? So if you see here, the shortage, if we see it is generating 2000, then the shortage will be still 1000 will be remaining, right? And in the same case here, 2500, then 500 will be your shortage. So, you should have a plan that to mitigate the shortage after, a certain time. Let's say that it should not happen that, we are talking in week 50, 2022, and at the end of 2023, like after a gap of 1 year, we are trying to mitigate the shortage. That will not work in the supply chain environment, right? But we can give the maximum limit. For example, if you are late, okay, tell me how much you are late. It means that maximum late delivery for the customer demand, how much it can be. I have the capability to give it here in IBP. So let's say that I go to this edit view, and I go to the key figure, and I say that the maximum, um, how much late it is done, maximum delivery for the customer demand. Let me get that key figure. Yeah. So customer demand, let me again put, I think we have not saved it, 3000 and then 2500. It is more than the capacity of a week. And then let me also put that how much late delivery, how many weeks late you are, keeping it. So let's say that two periods means 2 weeks. I am telling that 2 weeks I can mitigate the shortage. The shortage can be pushed and then deliver after 2 weeks. 2 weeks means now we are in week 50. So week 51, and then another week will be turning up in January 2023. So maximum by that time we do have you know, option to deliver it. Let's say that 2 weeks, if I'm saying here, 2 weeks I'm saying here, it can deliver here also in 1 week, but maximum of 2 weeks I can go, not beyond that. If I go beyond that, I can have some kind of penalty. So, for example, for the late delivery, also we have a late delivery cost rate as a penalty, which we can, you know, give it. Like we have agreed in the terms that 2 weeks are allowed for the delivery, but even after the 2 weeks, we are not getting it. Then we just we can put the penalty if we are putting in terms of, let's say, the late delivery cost rate, right? So let me now save it. This is for our understanding. Let me just remove it. Now we know that there is some kind of shortage given the capacity that we have, and I'm saving it. And because the capacity is allowed, late delivery is allowed for 2 weeks, let me also get, 2 3 more periods so that we will see the impact of that. So I will go to the edit view again, and the time period, we will just increase it little bit because we want to see if it is not delivered in this week or this week, then after 2 weeks at least, in here or here it should deliver. So let me just increase a little bit of time here. uh, let's say that we are in this week now, 2 weeks max to max, so I can take it till this, copy this time period to all of, from customer to all of these. Let me just copy and then say okay. Yeah. So now let me just run the uh, algorithm.
Hey, you did some copy to this capacity, everything. I mean, I just don't get it. Why you did that? Ah,
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. So what I wanted to do is I just in one of the view I have increased this horizon, and then I did it for all other tabs as well. So if I go to the production tab, the same thing, transportation tab, I think that did not get copy. So let me go again. So what I was doing is, let's say in the customer side, in this tab, if I have done till week 3, I wanted to do it for all the, production tab. Here, still it is 51st week. So rather than going into each tab, what I can do also is I can copy the time period from customer tab to capacity, production and transport tab. So if I copy this, then what will happen is I don't have to go to each tab and then, take it separately. It is copying whatever, filter I want to copy.
oh, that's good.
Filter
So
or
basically,
time
you can
period.
copy the time, attributes, key figures.
Yeah, yeah.
You put the key
Anything.
figures used in
So
both places. Okay.
correct, correct. So for example, you are giving the filter at one tab. Let's say that product ID. Now every tab you will go and then give that particular filter, right?
Oh,
Better than that, what you can do is you can just choose this filter and then copy it to whichever tab you want. So that's,
what does the
and
key
then you
figure
just
mean?
press
Is the
enter.
card where the key figure? The key figure is the transport. Everything is the key figure, correct? So what is
Yes,
the copy
your
settings?
production
Key
receipt.
figure to.
Yeah. Now, key figure, you will have different key figures in different tabs, right? From the transportation perspective, what you want to see, you may not want to see in the production perspective, right? So, key figure, if you want, you can copy, but you will have different key figures. So, it doesn't make sense to copy the same key
Okay.
figures in all the tabs, right?
All
So it
right. Yeah.
depends. Yeah, it depends on the situation that how we want to use it.
Okay.
All right. I think let's see. It is finished, and I don't know. Something is happening. It's it is still maybe while we're speaking. I don't know. I've not selected transportation, but it is not copied. Nevertheless, let me go to the transportation and increase that horizon. Uh, Time period here to this one and say okay. I don't know why it is coming like this, but maybe some uh, I can just do the format painting. I think it should be okay. Yeah. So now coming back to this scenario, next scenario, maximum late delivery. So what is the shortage here? The shortage, let me refresh it. I think the job is finished, but nothing has happened. Okay. Yeah, so what it has done is uh, 2000 maximum. Yes, it can do. How much is the shortage? The shortage here is 1000, right? How much is the shortage here? 2000 it can do max because of the 500 capacity. So 500 it can do max here, right? So shortage is it is mitigating in the next week because maximum late delivery we have allowed now. If we didn't do that, it wouldn't have planned for 1500 because now 2000 is the capacity. It can easily do the shortage of this 2 weeks in the next week itself, right? What other thing we can think about is, for example, this capacity now you have, right? Let me check if I'll just increase it, and here as well. Let me see it. Yeah, see, now you see that capacity is there till week 52, right? So it has done. But there is no capacity here. Had it been more demand, right? In week 52, then maximum late it can do till week number 2 of 2023, but it will not do because it will not have any capacity. So let us increase this capacity till the week 3 of 2023 so that whatever the customer demand that we are putting, even if it is little more than this, and in this period as well, let's say that we have again 3500 demand, right? So the shortage will be how much? In this it is getting 1000, in this it is getting 500, this it is getting 1500 as in shortage because maximum 500 it can produce. And then here if we are allowing maximum late it can do, with again 2 weeks or 1 week, whatever periods that we want to give, in this we can give. And now the situation will be to the optimizer will try to mitigate all the shortages that we have got here, right? So it's all about generating the optimal solution out of it, by different cost parameters, by different key figures taking into account, and then it finds the optimal cost. So now if I just run this, It has to be next year. So now it is executed. So this is our uh, let it run. So this was our next scenario. No, I think um, let me let me cover this scenario here with the screenshot. So let me call this as scenario 6, and we can say that maximum late delivery allowed. Right. So what we can do is we can use the key figure name. Let me just copy it. So use the key figure this to allow maximum number of periods. In this case, it is weeks for meet for meeting the demand. Maximum this okay to allow maximum number of periods for meeting the demand lately for the customer. Let me remove this screenshot. Let's see the results now. I'll refresh it. Nothing happened. So 1000 here and then 500 here, and then it should also do so. 1500 it has done, but then what about this? It can do more. Okay, so uh, why it has not done uh, to mitigate this one? Any thoughts?
Because there is no penalty or something.
Now, if you see the shortage is still there, right? How much is the demand? The demand is now 9,000 in total, right?
Right.
9,000. And how much it has generated the receipt is only 5,500, right? So
Mhm.
still kind of 4,000 is the demand that it should
Oh, because you have only
generate.
capacity 500, right?
Do you
Yeah,
have enough?
capacity 500.
Do you have enough capacity for this?
Yeah, I think we have it, right? So if you see here, 2000 it can be done with this one, right? 2000 max it can do, but it has only done 1500 here, which is actually fulfilling the demand of this two.
First two periods,
So
yeah.
one, yeah, so one reason could be that, as we were discussing, so it did not find it, uh, uh, you know, profitable to meet that demand because there is no penalty cost and all involved in this. So for the late delivery, so let me bring that cost here, save it, rerun it.
But it should still have produced it, even though there is no non-delivery cost.
No, I don't think that it will do.
According to
because of
me,
the
it will
automation.
prioritize for this. Let's say if you have multiple demand and less capacity, it may prioritize for this on mentioning the non-delivery cost. But when you don't have any other uh, thing which is consuming the capacity, and you have allowed maximum late delivery, so it should still produce it.
Yeah, but that's why you will see in your projects that they will mandatorily give at least the non-delivery cost rate for the customer demand if they want the optimizer to to find it. Now, yesterday we have seen some other cost, right? And then we were also cleaning it up. So because we have given the mode as the profitable mode, then it won't work without if we are not giving any penalty cost to be incurred there. So if we have given the high cost, definitely it should mitigate that. So let's see this time.
Okay.
I believe it should, yeah, it should do. So let's see if it has finished. I think by now. Yeah, it is done. Let me now refresh it. Yeah, now you see that it is working exactly how it
Yeah.
should work. So here we see that if you see the total is coming as 9,000, it means that the total demand has been fulfilled. So guys, just remember that it is all the game of the cost, and then sometimes we also struggle to understand the results of this optimizer. So as we have seen that profile of the optimizer, so there is an option of explanation of results. So to some extent, in the logs that we see here, if we have done the explanation of results, it will give some extra logs in order to understand what could be the issue in that case if we have switched on that.
But it's not
So yeah.
respecting. It's not respecting the maximum late delivery, right? You gave only two, right? Which is one plus one two. It should supposed to stop at.
Yeah, it is doing. You see here, Vinod. See now, for example, here we have told 2, right?
Okay.
So what it is doing is 2000 is the maximum, right? 2000 it has done. The maximum
Hmm.
is done now. Now after maximum 2 period, so we are in week 50 till week
Hmm.
52, it can produce, it can mitigate this shortage. How much is the shortage here? 1000 is the shortage, right? How much is the shortage here? Tell me, right? How much is the shortage here? 1500, because 2000 it can produce, right? So shortage it has to mitigate like 3000 is the shortage in a normal scenario. But having said this, 2 weeks now, right? What it will do, 2000 it has produced, maximum till week number 52 now it can go, and it can mitigate that 1000 shortage. So what it has done is 2000 it was already doing it, plus this 1000 it has been pushed maximum till this week, so it has produced more, right? 1000. So that's why you see here the customer receipts are now generated for now 3000, because we have allowed that. So similarly for this, maximum it can go for 2 weeks till here now, right? Now you think this one, so 1000, and then still some shortage is there, 500. So it is just bringing out that 1500 in this week, right? Because we do have a capacity. So remember this, right? We have increased this capacity. Had we not this have this capacity in these months, the situation would have been different here, right? It would not have given this 1500 here, because it did not had that capacity to be met, right? And then here we have allowed 2 weeks again, one, and then maximum till here it can go. So this is how, step by step we can then understand.
It's basically
Is it
current
better?
week plus two
Yeah.
weeks. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what it
and
is.
2 weeks is maximum. If it can do it in the first week itself, it will do that if it has the capacity. So
Okay.
maximum is 2 week. It is not allowed beyond that. If it is allowed, beyond that, if it is doing late, then we also have a different cost that we can put it. It all depends on the agreement and the situation uh, that we are in. So for example, like as we were discussing, we are in a situation like war. So that then we know that it's a genuine situation, and then people are anyway struggling. So there we will not leverage this kind of key figures like, for example, at least the late delivery kind of penalty in terms of cost. I will never, incur that. So it depends that how I just would like to use it depending on the situation. But yes, this is how the late deliveries can be used. Now you can think about uh, mitigating this shortage. So let me first take this picture so that you know we have all the notes also to refer right later on. So this picture, let me fit in our notes. Yeah, now the other perspective what you can think is, um, let's say that um, during a certain time, it's a Christmas, Thanksgiving, or any other festive seasons, it is coming, and we want to do some kind of promotional activities, and we know that that will definitely hike the normal demand, that is there. So what will happen is we can think about increasing the capacity, and increasing the capacity, if you increase it here, right, that is definitely one way, right? But you don't want to touch this master data, because that is something that you want to track it by putting some extra shift, let's say, to produce more, so that in that particular month, let's say December month, you can mitigate that shortage, or you foresee that much of more demand will be coming for so and so product. So you want to produce more. So how you can leverage that kind of stuff by having extra shift in terms of labor resources, all that. So we'll see that now in terms of master data. So let me now go to the master data. Just 1 second, guys. I need to take this call. Hello. Yes, yes. I was waiting for your call. Yeah, yeah. No, no. My date of birth actually is was mentioned wrong, so I was a bit worried that if it can be corrected. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yes. So, no, no, it is actually 1985, but there it is mentioned as 1984. Yeah, yeah. 25 January 1985. Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. My wife one is correct. Yeah, it is. It is 1988. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes. Yes, it's a new vehicle. Yeah, it's a new vehicle. Yeah. Yes, the loan tenure is 10 lakhs. Yeah. Rest I'll do the down payment. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks so much for your support. All right. Talk to you. Bye. Let me go to the master data, or I can go to the favorite once again. Just one second. Supply master data. And uh, where is that? Ah, come on. Yeah, I think this one. Let me go at the location resource level. So what we see here, we can expand also our capacity, right? So in what situation we can do, we just discussed in those situations where we want to expand for a particular period, let's say, then we can utilize this key figure. So now let's say that um, I have more demand. uh, Now let me remove from the late perspective all those stuff, maximum delivery and all that. Let me remove it, and I will just now go back to the master data, and I'm telling to the system that I can actually give it here. For this plant, I can have more capacity expansion as some static period, let's say. But this won't solve the purpose, because this expansion is, let's say, only for December month, only for November month, right? People will start shopping from 1 month before. So let's say November and December, let's say we are targeting. So better way is I can use this X parameter here and use this capacity in the same way that I was using the capacity supply, by putting X, and I was giving here in the key figure, right? So um, for different weeks, we can give the different capacity, and similar to that, I have the capacity expansion as well. So this one, save changes, I can do, and this is now saved. I can now come back here and I'll go to the key figure to bring up the related key figure which is related to expansion. So let me just type expansion. So here we have the capacity expansion, and what I can do is, let's say in this 2 weeks I can expand by more, 250 hours, and here also let's say 250 hours. So I have more capacity here in this week, right? And I'll save the data. Let's say for the next week as well, I say 250 and then 250. I'll save it. So now, earlier how much capacity I had for both the plants? 500 plus 500. We have increased by total 500 more. It has now become 1500, right? So now let's see that how this capacity expansion can help. Now let's say that similar kind of demand I have here, let's say 3,500, 5,000, and here I have 4,000, right? Here let it be 3,500, and let me now save this demand, and I'm running this algorithm. Guys, you're there with me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. But I'm wondering, like, you went that master data and then you changed something, and then you are coming up with the new scenarios. So how do we prepare for this one? Like, should I go and read everything about the master data of all of the attributes? There's only what you are
Yeah, yeah,
teaching is.
yeah, uh, yeah. That's right. So the feed that we are in, right? So
Mhm. I know. I
we
mean,
have to
and
continuously,
I mean,
yeah, read the.
if the specific requirement is coming from customer, right? The supply expands, and they say suddenly, in the month of October, I had to put more resources to meet the customer demand. Then you have to do supply expansions, right? That's what you're
Yeah, yeah.
recommending
So
to
this
us.
kind of, this kind of stuff, maybe we need to closely work with the business IT guys, and then, make sure that they understand, first of all, that this kind of features are there, and then,
Mhm.
we can show them uh, with portraying some examples like we are doing now, that if, such kind of demand is coming and it is flowing from our source system to target system,
So I mean,
and this is the.
my question is more of like if they ask his requirement, so basically I will go and explore it, or is this something I should have like have the knowledge of it already? So
No, yeah, I
I
mean,
just want.
it depends, right? For example, whatever we have covered in our training course may not be, suffice to fulfill all the requirements. So you have different
Absolutely.
sources where you need to check how you can fulfill those requirements, right?
Okay.
So let's say that RDS site that you have, right? We spoke about that is one, and then you will have very good blocks, from the SAP. So there are many people who are contributing to write the blogs. You can, or if you are the part of that SAP community,
Yeah, yeah.
you
I
can
mean,
put
yeah,
put your
those things are
questions
very
there.
good point.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah.
basically,
So
I'm going to focus whatever you are teaching and then expand from
yeah,
online from
yeah,
there.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. So better way is for you, especially, and Jay. I know. Rajneesh has a different scenario. But for you, you can start first of all revising all the videos that we have, right? And
mhm.
then second thing, you can go to that help file, right? It may
Okay.
ask you for a couple of topics. It may ask you your S user ID. So you can get your S user ID from your organization and use that in order to read it. So when you go to the help document, right, that's a very organized way that they have given each of the topic.
Yes,
Now
yes.
you are, more or less prepared to understand that. Maybe earlier, before joining this training, you might be scratching your head what these guys are speaking about. But now, even if they are using some new concepts and they are trying to explain you, I think you have a good base now to in order to grasp that. And that's why we had this training. So this training was not to cover 100% everything, and that you can't cover in any training, but it will prepare your mindset to grasp whatever is actually written already in the outside world, in terms of blogs, or in terms of help, and in terms of RDS documents, right?
Yeah.
Or the
So I
other
mean,
important source.
you made a good
Vinod,
point.
one
Okay.
second, Vinod. Before I forget, I want to just tell you that another important stuff is that every quarter, first of all, this SAP is doing a show I have missed it from couple of weeks, but they are doing a show to demonstrate all the new functionalities what they have um, uh, come up with every quarter, right? Because as you know that every release in 3 months they will be releasing new functionalities and they talk about it. And there you have a chance to type your question and the experts from SAP will answer that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had one more point, but yeah, it just came. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So with S user ID, right, and then without S user ID. So without S user ID, we can access the help file, and
You
also
see,
some of the
some
RDS.
content, if you just Google it, yeah, so some contents you will get it easily, but
Mhm.
specifically if the help article is telling you that you go and read this SAP note, I think to
Oh, okay.
read that SAP note, you will
Yeah. I mean,
that
we need a S
uh,
user ID. I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And another point where you will use the S user ID is that RDS document, right? You will not
Yeah.
have the full access to the content. You may
Mhm.
have you may get some access to the content, but fully if you want to use the RDS site, you will be logging in with your S user ID, and then it will give you uh, you know all
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
latest document with the
Yeah, yeah,
latest
but
release.
what I checked is if my employer or my
Mhm.
customer do not have those IBP, I will not be able to get those information, or any
No,
S
no, I
user can
think
IBP.
no, no, yeah, yeah. I think uh, the S user ID you still can get it. For
Okay.
example, if they are even
No,
planning to
I'm
move
asking.
to
Even though my customer is not implemented IBP, but I have a regular ECC S user ID. I can use that. I still can get more information on IBP.
just yeah, no, that's a good question, but just check it because
Okay.
sometimes I see that if that S user ID does not have the proper authorization, so it
Mm-hmm.
may give you a message that it is you
Yeah,
are
I'm not
not
authorized for this
authorized
document.
to view
Yeah.
this page. You will feel it frequently, and then
Yeah.
you need to discuss within your organization, then there is a need to it, and you need the special authorization, so that there will be the admin team which will be looking into these aspects. So
Oh,
I
okay.
mean
Got it.
you
Okay.
have to, yeah, you have to arrange
Okay.
it.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the answers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so maybe before I forget, so one special session we can have it, like Rajneesh was also mentioning that he's facing some issues in the key figure and all. Right, Rajneesh, you there? And that bomb scenario also that you have given. So what we can do is we can have some special session. So Rajneesh, if you I will just also ask you to share your screen as well. Maybe in a day or two, we'll have a session where we can talk about the key figure issues that you are facing. And to your point, Vinod, you were asking that at the request and all that you have some confusion. So I request you to, I think we have spent around 2 days. Maybe Rajneesh didn't join that time to understand all this basic stuff by doing the exercises. We have generated the key figures at different levels, and we understood what exactly is at the request and all, as yesterday you were mentioning. So go to that video, and that will give you a very clear picture about the key figures. But
Hmm.
yes, as Rajneesh told that he is developing some complex, key figures. So we will see it live that what issues, Rajneesh, you are getting, and then we'll try to put it together in that session
Okay.
live. If you can see, yeah. So I'll keep you informed. So let's see that. I think by now this heuristic would have completed. So now what we see here is, yeah, so now what you see is, now what you see, 1 minute. Is it correct? 1 second. How much capacity now we have? Yeah, so capacity that we have in week 50, right? How much it can produce? So with 1000, it can produce 2000. And now, you know, so 2000, it was earlier anyway, it was doing, and we have added 500 more. So 1000, it can produce more. So total of 3000, it can fulfill. So if we now go to the customer receipt, yeah, exactly. So how much it can produce? Maximum total of 3000, right? With the increased capacity. Earlier, what we were seeing is 2000. But now what extra we have done is we have done this expansion, right? This expansion of 250 hours. I've done it here. And that's why it is showing. Still, there is a shortage of, 2000. Um, it has not done. But we have the option of expansion. If we can bring one more extra shift, let's say that if there is a question that is there any chance that I can do more than the regular capacity supply I have, how I can make up that particular scenario by adding extra shift. So you can do it. You can implement it with the help of the capacity expansion. So time series indicator, we have made it X, and then we have given it, and then according to your resource ability, you can do that. So now it is producing 3000. In earlier scenario, the shortage would have been uh, 3000, but now the shortage is only 2000, right? And then here, if you see that it is 4000, let me see that why it is only 1500. Here it has done fully. Uh, what is this? One second. Okay. Okay. So no, I have given here also the capacity. So maximum it can go for the 3000, right? I'm thinking because here also it is the expansion we have given is 250, 250. The same situation like this, right? So why it went only for 1500? It has more capacity, right? It should have gone more actually. Okay. And then whatever it has, the remaining one, it has actually utilized here, and it is giving. Okay, 1 second. Let me just increase this capacity. Save data. I'll remove this local numbers. Okay, and run one more time the heuristic. Sorry, not heuristic, optimizer. Okay, let me select this. What I have to think is, to clean up and then see. Yeah, it has done more um, here when we have increased the capacity. So it is doing uh, 2500, and in next month, max of 3000 it can do. But because it has done less in this particular week, 500, so it has put it here. So now you understand maximum of how much it can do for 3000. So what the optimizer has done is, if it has done less here, anyway it's a shortage, right? Eh, I mean, there is a penalty involved in it. So maximum of 3000 it can do, but if it has produced 2500, still 500 is the capacity left, and then it is covering up the next month demand with that. So 3000 plus this 500 extra of the next month, because here it is fulfilling 100% of this demand. So the uh, optimizer has decided, anyway if it fulfills 500 extra here, then also it will be a shortage, right? But here at least it can fulfill for that same customer in this demand, uh, for the total of 3500, right? So this is how the capacity expansion will actually help you to expand. Let's say for the new year and all, you have expanded the capacity, and also you have the demand, heavy demand coming up, so you can mitigate it with the help of the capacity expansion. And let me just then see if this is, yeah, this is noted here. Now let me take it out, this one. And this one is relevant. How to overcome the shortage is by the capacity expansion, and this is how we can then see. So saving it. So guys, can you just copy paste the Google Drive link? I've just messed up with some other batches, yours one, because I want to put in some.
Yeah, I didn't see all of them, all the recordings available, latest ones at
Yeah,
least.
can you just paste the link please here in this chat? I will just check it out, because if I leave the meeting, I'm not sure whether I will be able to access this chat. If you can paste right now, it will be helpful. I mean, anyone can put it, uh, if you have it handy, please. Rajneesh, Vinod, you have it?
This
Okay.
one, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let me just take it in a notepad, and later I will just have a look into it. This is for your batch. Okay. All right, guys. So um, we can wind up for today, and then see you in the next session. And we'll talk about some other stuff then.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much. And then see you again. I'll inform you guys via coordinator. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye for now.
We'll have a tomorrow lessons and then we'll have a Monday, right? I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll just see. We'll just see tomorrow one. Actually, I have something to uh, go to office and all tomorrow
Okay.
again. So I need to
Okay.
see if I can, you guys are available. But I think for Rajneesh, it's a problem 1 hour early. But we'll have it this session, guys. All
Okay.
right. Thank you so much. And then bye for now.
Thank you. Yeah. So one more thing. When you are putting the
Yeah.
recording, right? Can you put like a scenarios like this is scenario six, something like in the header, like a title. Right now it's all says session two, session three, session
Ah,
four.
man. I think, the better ways. This is a homework for you.
Yeah.
uh, dear friend. So what you have to do is, as and when you see the recording, right, you just
Mhm.
rename it according to your convenience,
Oh,
so
okay,
that you
okay,
will be more comfortable rather than I putting up the heading. You will be
okay,
confused. But if you
okay,
see
okay,
it that time only, you rename it that heading. So that way you will understand. These are the recordings that you have completed. So
okay, okay.
I'll give you this work, my friend.
Thank you. I
Bye.
have a good one. Bye now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bye.